Hello everyone. Is everyone in the world unique and special? There are roughly around 7.4 billion people in the world right now, and that number is increasing rapidly. Therefore, the possibility that any of us is more gifted than anyone else is borderline statistically impossible. Things I've experienced have been experienced by many thousands before me, and many thousands will experience the same after me. It is inevitable. In the 1960s, developing high self esteem, having positive thoughts and feelings about oneself became all the rage in psychology. Research found that people who thought highly about themselves generally performed better and caused fewer problems. Many researchers and policymakers at that time came to believe that raising a population's self esteem could lead to some tangible social benefits: lower crime, better academic records, greater employment, low budget deficit. As a result, beginning in the next decade, the 1970s, self-esteem practice began to be taught. Kids were given homework assignments like writing down all the reasons why they thought they were special, or the 5 things they liked most about themselves. Business and motivational seminars cropped up chanting the same paradoxical mantra: every single one of us can be exceptional and massively successful. But it's a generation later, and the data is in we are not all exceptional. Merely feeling good about yourself doesn't really mean anything unless you have good reason to feel good about yourself. It turns out that adversity and failure are actually useful and even necessary for developing strong minded and successful adults, and that teaching people to believe they are exceptional to feel good about themselves no matter what doesn't lead to a population full of Bill Gates and Martin Luther Kings. Some people became so fixated on feeling good about themselves that they managed to delude themselves into believing that they are accomplishing great things even when they are not. They believe they are the brilliant presenter on stage when they are making a fool of themselves. They believe they are the successful startup founders when in fact they have never had successful venture. They call themselves life coaches and charge money to help others even though they're only 25 years old and haven't actually accomplished anything substantial in their lives. This is a failed strategy. It's not happiness. The true measurement of self-worth is not how a person feels about their positive experience, but rather how she is able to look at the negative parts of her character frankly. Like, yes, sometimes I'm irresponsible with money. Yes, sometimes I exaggerate my own success. Yes, I rely too much on others to support me and should be more self-reliant. And then acts to improve upon them. But entitled people who are incapable of acknowledging their own problems openly and honestly are incapable of improving their lives in any lasting or meaningful way. But eventually, reality must hit, and the underlying problems will once again make themselves clear. It's a question of when and how painful it will be. Most of us are pretty average at most things we do. Even if you are exceptional at one thing, chances are you are average or below average at most other things. That's just the nature of life. To become truly great at something, you have to dedicate shit tons of time and energy to it. And because we all have limited time and energy, few of us ever become truly exceptional at more than one thing, if anything at all. We can then say that it's a statistical improbability that any single person will be an extraordinary performer in all areas of life, or even in many areas of their life. Brilliant business people are often fuck ups in their personal lives. You can look at the recent incident happened in the life of the richest persons in the world. Extraordinary athletes are often shallow and dumb. Many celebrities are probably just as clueless about life as the people who gawk at them and follow their every move. We are all, for the most part, pretty average people, but it's the extremes that get all of the publicity. We kind of know this already, but we rarely think and or talk about it, and we certainly never discuss why this could be a problem. This constant stream of unrealistic media dogpiles onto our existing feelings of insecurity by overexposing us to the unrealistic standards we fail to live up to. Not only do we feel subjected to unsolvable problems, but we feel like losers because a simple Google search shows us thousands of people without those same problems. Technology has solved all economic problems by giving us new psychological problems. The internet has not just open sourced information, it has also open source insecurity, self-doubt, and shame. It has become an accepted part of our culture today to believe that we are all destined to do something truly extraordinary. Celebrities say it, business tycoons say it, politicians say it, so it must be true. Each and every one of us can be extraordinary. We all deserve greatness. The fact that this statement is inherently contradictory. After all, if everyone were extraordinary, then by definition no one would be extraordinary is missed by the people. And instead of questioning what we actually deserve or don't deserve, we eat the message up and ask for more. Being average has become the new standard of failure. The worst thing you can be in the middle of the pack, the middle of the bell curve. When a culture's standards of success is to be extraordinary, it then becomes better to be at the extreme low end of the curve than to be in the middle, because at least there you are still special and deserve attention. Many people choose this strategy to prove to everyone that they are the most miserable, or the most oppressed, or the most victimized. A lot of people are afraid to accept mediocrity because they believe that if they accept it, they will never achieve anything, never improve, and that their life won't matter. The rare people who do become truly exceptional at something do so, not because they believe they are exceptional. On the contrary, they become amazing because they are obsessed with improvement. And that obsession with improvement stems from an unearned belief that they are in fact not that great at all. People who become great at something become great because they understand that they are not already great. They are mediocre, they are average, and that they could be so much better. All of this, every person can be extraordinary and achieve greatness stuff is a message that tastes good going down. But in reality, it's nothing more than empty calories that make you emotionally fat and bloated. The ticket to emotional health is accepting the bland and mundane truth of life. Truth such as your actions actually don't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. And the vast majority of your life will be boring and not noteworthy, and that's okay. This course will taste bad at first, very bad. You will avoid accepting it, but once ingested, your body will wake up feeling more potent and more alive. After all, the constant pressure to be something amazing, to be the next big thing, will be lifted off your back. The stress and anxiety of always feeling inadequate and constantly needing to prove yourself will dissipate, and the knowledge and acceptance of your own mundane existence will actually free you to accomplish what you truly wish to accomplish, without judgment or lofty expectations. You will have a growing appreciation for life's basic experiences, the pleasures of simple friendship, creating something, helping a person in need, reading a good book, laughing with someone you care about. Sounds boring, doesn't it? That's because these things are ordinary. But maybe they are ordinary for a reason, because they are what actually matters.